This is what it is, okay? You know what it is. You have to do the right thing. You have to go home to the family, you understand?
I'm not saying you got to go back there this minute, but you got to go back.
If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping.
Fresh off the Plizzane. You know my dang name.
You cheating some of them.
Look, man, I'm all excited over here, and you look like you scared.
Boy, stop. He ain't never scared. If you not stewing, what in the hell are you doing?
Right. And now he comes out and goes all tomfoolery and all buffoonery, and I'm not even thinking about the player no more. I'm like, what? Who is this? What is this?
And he gives these cats too much ammunition when he's doing that little Quan dance. No grown man should do that Quan dance. If you listening to me right now, do not let your son do the Quan dance, because they're going to get clowned. See? I'm telling you.
And he's always Quan dancing with no women.
He's always Quan dancing.
He's always Quan dancing with no women.
No Quan dancing in 2016.
Yeah.
Doug Stewart, Ron Stewart, the Two Live Stews, 640 WGST.
Ooh-wee.
As well as iHeartRadio.
I get to talk a lot today because somebody can't carry it alone.
Stupendous Saturday to you. Yeah, your boy is
hey,
man down.
Okay, real quick.
Man down.
Shouts out to Bruce Hagan, man, for a free consultation. Just give him a call at 445-227-5553. Again, shouts out to Bruce Hagan,
man
attorney
down.
at law. Yeah, man, I knew you were going to do it big when you throw a New Year's Eve party like you always do, man.
Yeah.
But I didn't figure you were coming here half dead still 2 days later.
Hey, man, stupendous Saturday to you, man. How you doing? How was your New Year's? I haven't seen you since New Year's. What did you do? I'm going to tell you what I did in a minute. You can hear what I did.
Yes, it's all over your throat, your vocal cords.
That sounded kind of nasty just now.
It is, man. But it's realistic. People keep saying I'm saying these nasty things. There's a lot of nasty innuendo. But it's the truth.
It is.
It's the truth.
Last week we had to cut half of the show because of your innuendo.
It's good when it goes down your throat. Hey, listen, man. What? I had a great New Year's, man. I had a great New Year's. But, unfortunately, I was that parent at the house party. I was that parent.
Oh, okay.
We were the parents that had every last one of our kids awake and running around somebody else's house at the house party for New Year's.
You were one of those parents.
I was one of those parents, man. And I never thought I would be one of those parents. Not the judging type of person that some people are, because I don't judge. I've judged parents in the past for being the parent that's got an 18-week-old at the New Year's party, man.
Right, and that's you.
My hands up.
And your boys are wild, too. So I know they cause a real ruckus.
They'll turn your place out. But the baby was great.
Right.
The baby behaved great.
Oh, the baby is a champ.
Oh, she was
the baby.
She was amazing, man.
You're listening to the Two Live Stews. Stupendous Saturday to you. So, yeah, I had the big New Year's Eve party, man, downtown. It was off the chain.
That's great, man.
Started out real slow, man. People came in like at 11:30. We had already sold a ticket, so I knew the people were coming.
Right.
But everybody strolled in like 11:30, man. When 12 midnight hit, man, it was crazy. We kind of like had that scene from New Jack City.
Oh, really?
Kind of, sort of. You remember in New Jack City? Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, right.
Yeah, but it was a great turnout, man. Thank you to everybody that came out, man.
How long y'all party, man? How long y'all party, man?
Till 1 o'clock.
Oh, man.
Till 1 o'clock.
The great Naughty Dread, who's in the studio.
Yeah.
Naughty, tell the people what's up, Naughty.
What's happening?
The great Naughty Dread has pulled some pictures up.
Yeah, he took
from
pictures.
your soiree.
Yeah, Naughty took pictures, and so I'll be posting those. We had a great time.
Y'all did it right, man. Everybody looks nice.
Yeah, everybody looks nice.
Everybody looks nice, man.
What else you do over the holidays?
Watched a lot of sports, man.
Yeah.
And we talked about this last week. Are there too many bowl games? And I sit here now, a witness to say there are not too many bowl games, man.
It's been very good.
It's been great to be able to sit down every day and watch at least one football game, man.
Now we're going to get into what happened yesterday or this past weekend with the
happened yesterday.
The playoff games,
right?
You know, Alabama, Michigan State, Clemson, and Oklahoma.
I prayed that both of my kids could replicate what the McCaffrey kid did this last night.
But what'd you think about the playoff games on New Year's Eve? Yay or nay?
The numbers have come back in, and it's down 40%.
35%. I read 35%.
I saw numbers said 40.
But why would they do that?
I don't get it. And again, I'm a staunch sports fan.
As much as I love football,
right.
I was not going to not do my New Year's Eve plans to stop and watch football. So I DVR'd the games, went back and watched them. But why would they do that?
Yeah, they won't do it again. They won't do it next year, I promise.
They already have a deal in place where they got to do it three
it's bad business.
of the next 4 years.
It's bad business.
Yeah.
It's bad business.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad because I still got football on New Year's Day, but it would have been much more impressive to have meaningful football on New Year's Day.
Okay, there's 11 days, and you're listening to the Two Live Stews, 640 WGST. There's 11 days between when the playoff games happen and the national championship game. Would it have hurt them to put it on New Year's Day? Why? I don't understand. I've looked and tried to find out what was the reasons or the mindset on why they would put those games on New Year's Eve.
Somebody paid for it to be New Year's Eve, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's all we can come up with.
Somebody
guess so. Paid for it to be
35% down from the numbers from last year. Now, remember, last year you had Jameis Winston.
Right.
Was it Jameis Winston who played in the national championship? Yeah.
Ohio State, yeah.
It was Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
It was Ohio State.
Yep.
Jameis was a big name.
Yep.
You had storylines.
Yep.
So the games, the Alabama-Michigan State game wasn't a big draw because of Michigan State.
Right.
Alabama's a big draw.
Right.
I think they should have probably played the Oklahoma-Clemson game that night.
I thought the Clemson game would have been a late game, but it wasn't. So
It wasn't.
I didn't have a problem with it, though. I didn't have a problem with it. I was fine. And you know what? Again,
and then I tried not to listen to the news.
Come on, man. I'm being selfish. I'm sorry. On 640 AM WGST, I'm being selfish.
Uh-huh.
It was fine for me because I was home with the kids all freaking day.
Right.
You getting prepared for a big soiree, you couldn't sit down and drink a beer and watch the game.
Right. Now, I had it on
I
the
get it.
We had a room at the hotel, and you're listening to the Two Live Stews. We had a room at the hotel, so I had the Clemson-Oklahoma game on. But, I'm doing
Yes,
stuff.
You're doing stuff.
I'm
You're
doing stuff.
You're doing stuff.
So I didn't like that at all, man. That was bad. That was bad. And then you try not, whenever you DVR something, you try not to listen to the news. You
But
try
you
not to
can't.
pay attention.
You can't ignore it.
I had the Clemson game on. I totally avoided the Alabama-Michigan State game.
Right.
And I looked at the score. Somebody, they killing them 30-something to nothing. I'm like, what? Yeah, it was crazy, man.
So now the lust of watching that game is now out the window because you, unfortunately, have found out what's going on.
Right. Stupendous Saturday to you, man. The return of the Two Live Stews. Apologize for my voice, but once again, I did it real big a couple of days ago. 640 WGST today. 10 the Stewway.
10 the Stewway, man.
Where we'll talk about the 10 biggest stories from this past week in the world of sports and entertainment. The Funky Four, where we hit the 4 biggest games this weekend in the NFL. Will we mix some college in that as well?
Yes, we will. I will say something about a couple of college games.
Yeah, a couple of big college games still on the slate.
Real quick, man. The Falcons made a debacle out of a season that could have really been special.
Could have been special.
But if they do what I think they might do this weekend, they still get out of here looking damn pretty for the first season of Coach Quinn.
Yeah, would it be 9-7?
They'll be 9-7.
Yeah.
They'll be 9-7, and they missed the playoffs because, unfortunately, they went on that slump when other teams started playing better ball, and they're in the same division as Carolina. Okay, so, but at the end of the day, what the man has done, coming off of 2 seasons where it was terrible football,
right?
It was an outstanding job.
You really didn't get the production out of your first-round draft pick you thought you'd get.
Nope.
So he'll be better next year.
Well,
Big Beasley will be better next year.
You say,
the scheme, everything will be better.
I'm going to talk about this in a second. You say you didn't get the production. He is leading the team in sacks.
What does that say? That tells you how bad the team is in sacking the quarterback.
He is leading the team in sacks, man.
Yeah. So sports and entertainment, I saw a couple of movies over the holiday. I saw Concussion. And last night I saw The Hateful Eight.
I'm scared to see Concussion, man.
You are?
I'm scared, man.
It's deep. It's pretty deep, man. It's pretty deep.
I
great
know
performance by Will Smith.
I know the story well.
Right, obviously you do.
But I'm afraid to see the actual factual information that's embedded throughout this movie.
You're listening to the Two Live Stews. Saw Hateful Eight last night. I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan.
Tell the truth, man.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, though. I'm a Tarantino fan. The movie, without the trailers, without the previews, the movie was 3 hours and 5 minutes long.
What?
Yeah.
Who got time for that?
Yeah. And Samuel Jackson got called the N-word 736 times.
Did you count?
Yeah, I counted. Yeah. Now, what Tarantino does is he does these period films,
right?
So it's okay.
It's safe. He's
safe. I'm starting to feel a little bit like Spike Lee. It's making me uncomfortable how many times they call this man the N-word. I mean, every time he turned the corner, N-word.
Hey,
come here, N-word. Come here, N-word. You N-word. I'll spit on you, you N-word. N-word. You N-word. Your mama's an N-word.
We got 10 the Stewway coming up next on WGST 640 AM with your boys, the Two Live Stew.
N-word, guys. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-file, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. The world's heavyweight champion of sports and guy talk radio, the Two Live Stews, Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart.
Ooh-wee!
640 WGST as well as iHeartRadio.
Don't this beat make you want to ride on the food, man.
Yeah, this is
Turn it up, Walter. Turn it up, Walter.
Classic beat.
We only got about 5 more seconds with it. So much drama in the air. We see. I mean, that's just, woo! Thank you, Walter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Bruce Hagen, man, the People's Lawyer. Free initial consultation at 445-222-7553, and check him out on the web at hagen-law.com. He is the People's Lawyer.
Stupendous Saturday to you, man. Let's get into this 10, the Steway.
The Great Naughty Dread.
The Cadre.
What's going on, fellas? Let's go ahead and get into this thing real quick. You know we be running short on time sometimes.
All the time around here.
The Falcons.
It don't be my fault, though, Naughty.
The Falcons shocked the Panthers, giving the Carolina Panthers their first loss of the year. Now, unfortunately, the Birds were eliminated from the playoffs by the Vikings beating the Giants. Ryan, what's the one big thing this organization needs to do to have a turnaround in 2016?
First thing I want to say, man, is that's why I do not gamble.
Mm-hmm. You remember last week we were in here?
That's why
I thought the Falcons were going to get their asses kicked, right?
Smashed.
Yeah.
That's why I do not gamble. From time to time, I do a little parlay card just for fun, for recreational purposes.
Technically, that's gambling.
Well, it's for recreational purposes.
Right.
But look, man, with Vic Beasley being your sack leader, and he only has 4.
Yeah.
And the next man up being Adrian Claiborne, who has 3, and now Corey Bierman is 3rd with 2.5. You have to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, I think Vic Beasley is going to be better next year.
I agree.
I don't think he's a bad player. He's just young. He's got to learn another move or something like that. I don't think Matt Ryan's going to have a down a year as he did this year.
I would like to agree.
Matt really struggled this year.
He did bad.
I don't think Matt Ryan's the greatest quarterback. I've always said that. I think he's average, but I don't think he's this bad.
If they win the Saints game, they'll end up with 9 wins. They went on a losing streak where they lost about 7 games.
Yeah.
And out of those 7 games that they lost during that 9-week period. I believe Matt Ryan was the reason for 4 or 5 of those losses by himself.
There's no way he's that bad again.
Okay.
So you got things to build on. Devontae Freeman, Julio Jones going to the Pro Bowls. Offensively, I think they're good. I think they're okay going forward. They got to shore up that defense, man. And Dan Quinn being a defensive guy, I think they'll do that in the draft and in the free agency.
I said it in the first segment, man. If they finish up 9-7 or even 8-8, it's a good year looking at all situations at hand.
Right.
All right, cool.
Now, Doug, let's not forget, even with the loss, Carolina still is 14-1.
Right.
Now, do you ride with the sentiment that the Panthers losing for the first time this year is actually a good thing?
Hell no. And I've been hearing everybody say that.
Where they do that at, man?
Where they do that at? There's never a reason. You'll never be able to convince me of a reason on losing
Taking
being
a loss.
good thing.
Taking a loss.
No matter what. And Ryan Khalil, offensive lineman for the Carolina Panthers, says, man, you want to get in a frame of winning. And they lost the game. So that's not good in my book, no matter what.
As a player, I've somehow mentally finagled myself into thinking at the beginning of every year we could possibly go undefeated.
But that's what you're supposed to think.
You're supposed to do
Yes,
that.
yes.
I see how I can go over every game on the schedule and legitimately tell you how and why we're going to win.
Yeah.
If you see anything otherwise, then you're wrong.
So they got some bad thoughts put into their head. Now it's almost like other teams have a book on what they need to do. What basically the Falcons did is they stopped Carolina from throwing the ball downfield. They gave them everything short. Carolina already doesn't have great weapons, receivers. So that's the book. That's what you need to do to stop Carolina going forward. And now because the Falcons showed what they need to do, it kind of been exposed a little bit.
Carolina, sir, I'm sorry, and I apologize for cutting you off, Noddy. Carolina sacrificed that game. Nothing more, nothing less.
Well, let's stick with the NFL from the past week. Peyton Manning, in a documentary by Al Jazeera,
This is good right here.
had HGH shipped to his house in 2011. Now, remember in 2013, he set an all-time NFL mark for passing touchdown. What, he had 55 touchdowns?
55.
Now, this after 4 neck surgeries. now, of course, he denies using HGH ever. But, Ryan, do you believe him?
No, I do not.
You're listening to the Two Live Stews.
And if he wasn't using the HGH to get himself back as fast as he could and as healthy as he could, I would be disappointed in him. I do not believe him, and I really wish. I don't have a reason not to believe him, but I really wish he would have had the testicles to come to the mic and say,
Yeah, I did it.
It was the toughest time of my life,
Right.
and it was for me.
Right. And
I did it.
You know what? And once again, I'm not saying he's lying. He may very well be telling truth.
Right.
But I doubt it.
Come on, man.
I doubt it.
Come on, man.
You talked about the surgeries. You talked about the great things he did after a couple of years, 55 touchdown passes. Bottom line is, over the last 10 years or so, Ryan Braun, Rafael Palmeiro, Lance Armstrong, okay?
Right.
You don't come back from testicular cancer
Come on, man.
and win Tour de France's. You don't come back from 4 neck surgeries
man.
and throw 55 touchdown passes in the NFL.
Right.
If I had to bet, I would think that he did it.
Right.
I'm not saying he did, but I would bet that he probably did.
Can I add one more part before Noddy pushes this ship forward, sir?
And he is throwing his wife under the bus saying, that's her stuff, that's her business.
Well,
that sounds sketchy.
It's her role as the wife to eat this one as much as she can.
Yeah.
Listen, what's so wrong with it? Your body produces it.
We talked about this for years. The great Bo Bach always said, there's nothing wrong with HGH if you know what you're doing.
My body produces it.
Right.
What's wrong with testosterone?
Right.
My body produces it. It just so happens that as I get older, it doesn't produce it as much. So it makes me more injury prone.
And
I get fatigued faster.
You're listening to the Two Live Stews.
So if I could do something to put a little bit extra of what my body is already putting inside of me, why wouldn't I?
You're basically replacing.
All I'm saying is this. I'm a dummy. Okay?
What do you mean?
When I had that opportunity, I didn't do something as simple as give my body more of what it was.
It's almost like there's a stigma that if you do use HGH, you're cheating.
You would have seen me.
But when you put it like that, the way that the great Bo Bach used to put it.
Put me back in there right now and give me one more chance to do that. You would literally see me at CVS walking out with a needle in my behind.
It's almost like
you would.
And you're listening to the Two Live
right.
Stews.
It's just HGH. It's just HGH, guys.
It's almost like it works so good that they're skeptical of it.
Noddy, what we got now?
Yeah, my thing is why they always mail it to their wives, but
exactly. I didn't get it. It was my wife.
Can't mail it to me.
They said they were mailing it all over the country today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send his wife.
Send it to my neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to give my neighbor $1,000 per package.
Right.
Here, it's coming to you.
On-field controversy last weekend in the NFL. The Patriots win the coin toss in overtime against the Jets, but they decide to kick it off. Now, Jets score, the Patriots lose. What do you say about, the great Belichick decision to kick so they could get, quote-unquote, good field position in OT, Doug?
Stupid. Simple as that. It was dumb. A lot of times people that are so smart and so good at what they do, they outthink themselves. And the way the rules work for the overtime in the NFL now, if you score a touchdown, you win.
It's yours.
Simple as that.
It's yours.
So if you have the opportunity to get the ball first, you have to have some type of statistical advantage.
Right.
Because you have the first opportunity to score. Why would you do that? And he talked about he wanted to get good field position.
Right.
But that's if they don't score.
Okay, I got two things on this.
And they always be cheating in New England.
I got two things on this, man. The first thing is he has done that in the past as well.
Yes, and it worked out.
Okay?
He shouldn't have done it in the past either, though.
But he has done it in the past as well. So this is no anomaly. You should not be smacked across the head. Oh, he's never done that before. He has done it in the past. And secondly, man, if you lose that game, you got a better matchup in your first round. I'm sorry.
So you believe in the
Yes,
conspiracy?
man.
They did it on purpose?
Yes, man. Yes, and the guy is brilliant. He knows what he's doing.
Ooh, boy,
he knows what he's doing.
You a conspiracy
So
ninja
listen,
to the heart.
you can't say that he didn't try to win the game because it did go on overtime. They were trying to win, but now that we got it in overtime, I'm not necessarily going to win the game. I'm sorry, man.
Wow.
This is what the guy does. The guy is brilliant.
Last one from the league before we get out of here in this first segment. Chip Kelly, he's out as the head coach of the Eagles after the team looked pretty much in up all season. Good decision or bad decision from Philly to can Chip? And how did things go so bad so fast for him, Ryan?
Nadi and I agree with this. We talked about it while we were doing show prep. There's no way in the world I would have let Chip Kelly out this easy.
What do you mean?
You destroyed my team.
He's lost the team.
I'm going to keep you here and allow you just to go insane behind what you have done. I'm not letting you out of here and giving you $13 million to do so.
But you from the country. That's cutting off your nose, spite your face.
And secondly,
what are you going to do, make Chip Kelly do the laundry?
no.
You going to make him line the field up?
Yes, yeah. Move his parking space from the front of the building to the back, around the corner. Yes, I'm going to make life a living HE double hockey stick on him.
Right.
I'm not giving you $13 million to leave when you did this to my franchise.
But your players don't even like being around the guy.
But that being said, he did go 10-6 2 years back to back. You didn't expect that to happen.
This thing with Chip Kelly, man, talked about this all year long on the DougStewartShow.com. That's the DougStewartShow.com, the all-new DougStewartShow.com, coming back this Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It was super arrogant, man.
It was arrogant, man.
I am a fan of Chip Kelly and his innovative offenses that he brought to the NFL.
You need
know
talent.
I like that.
You need talent.
But who tries to do what you do with less talent? Nobody does that.
Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, Kerry Williams, Trent Cole, LaShawn McCoy. Come on, man. That's your team.
Arrogant.
Nick Foles. Come on, man.
Arrogant.
Come on, man.
Arrogant. And it came back to bite him, man.
You need players to win, sir.
So he'll be fine. He'll get a college job making $5 million a year. He's a great coach. But I think college kids, not grown men, they ain't trying to hear all of that.
He'll never poo-poo on talent like he did in Philadelphia.
All right, when we get back from the break, man, the second half of 10 the Stewway. A little bit later, the funky 4 to 4 biggest games in the NFL and college football this weekend. Right here on the 2 Live Stew, 640 WGST.
Yeah.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network. gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
The world's heavyweight champions of sports and Guy Talk Radio. This is the Two Live Stews.
Ooh-wee!
The return of the Two Live Stews on 640 WGST and iHeartRadio.
One thing about Bruce Hagan, attorney at law, he is a personal injury lawyer, and that is all that he does. If you've had some type of accident and you need an attorney's thoughts on your situation, give Bruce a call, 404-522-7553.
The good thing about Bruce, man, is he's just good people.
Good people, man.
Like real good people. I've had to acquire Bruce's services a couple of times.
Traffic court, huh?
Yeah, that. I mean, but that's not really what he specializes in.
I just told these people that he is an injury lawyer, sir.
Right. But I wasn't even going to say that. You said that. But he's, represented me on a couple of different little cases, man, and just a good people and great sense of humor, man. Check out my man, Bruce Hagan, at hagan-law.com.
Unfortunately, man, he probably could rep you with an injury case as well, because you're a guy that gets in fending business like once or twice a month, man.
That's not true.
It is, man.
Knock on wood.
Man, every time I talk to you, you get in the car fixed or you bump somebody at a stoplight or something like that, man.
Lie.
Okay, man.
Lie.
All right.
Hey, Nadi, what's up with the second half of 10 to Stew?
All right, well, we're going to talk some college football, but before we do, let's have a quickie.
Quickies are nice. I mean, I hadn't had one since college.
I don't want to have a quickie with you, Nadi.
Not that type
Quickies
of
are nice.
Next thing you want to do is Quan.
I missed that phase of my life where you could get a quickie.
Anyhow, Cardell Jones says he will enter the NFL draft after being benched by the Buckeyes this year as a signal caller. Ryan, you played in the league. You know how the draft works.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's going to.
I'm saying, but did he lose money by going back to Ohio State this year?
I don't think he lost any money.
You don't?
I think that it was a crapshoot for him to put his name in there after only 3 ball games. Mm-hmm. And that's all he had. And I know you feel differently, man. Mm-hmm. But even with the 7 games that he started this year before he got snatched, he was a 62% passer. Mm-hmm. He had 7 TDs and 5 interceptions. He's so unpolished. He's still so raw. There's several different facets of his game that would not have allowed him to make money last year.
I think that if he would have came out
he
last year.
He would have been drafted, but he wouldn't have made money last year.
I think if he would have came out last year, you always hear strike while the iron's hot. I think in the draft combine, I think in the personal workouts, he would have wowed them. I think the man would have been a first-round pick. Now, a lot of people disagree with me, but we have seen guys shoot up the draft boards after having just a modicum of success the second half of the season. He made big plays. He's got the size. He's got a big arm. He's got all the intangibles you need as a quarterback. I think he lost money this year, man.
You go under the microscope when you come out for that draft, man, and only in 3 days' worth of film or 3 games of film, they would have seen that he lacks anticipation and timing. They would have seen that his footwork is bad. They would have seen that the internal clock that he has is bad. They would have seen that he lacks accuracy on several different levels of the field if they would have broken him down to be drafted.
But you know what? All it takes is one team.
I agree.
Out of 32.
That's true.
That's what happened with Tim Tebow. I think it would have happened with Cardell Jones.
Clemson put up big numbers in the second half against Oklahoma, and Alabama just beat the brakes off Michigan State.
It was bad.
In this year's college football playoff games, observations from both you guys.
Man, Clemson makes me so proud, man. Obviously, if you don't know, you'd never listened to the Two Live Stews before, you just stumbled upon this show. Natives of the great state of South Carolina, man. I'll never forget 1981, the Clemson Tigers win the national championship, man. Just a glorious feeling as a fan to know that a team from your state wins a national championship.
Wins it all.
Is big, man. Yeah. And I'm so proud of the way they handled Oklahoma. They were an underdog. Even though they were undefeated, the number 1 team in the country, they were an underdog.
And they
handled Oklahoma.
They spanked them, man.
Alabama, Michigan State, man.
I expected it. I didn't expect 38-0, but Alabama's just a better team.
When it comes to the game that's coming up on next Monday, man, I think that Clemson has the best quarterback, and that gives them the best offense. But I think Bama's defense is better than Clemson's defense,
Well, we're going
and
to
I
get
think
to
that
that in a
causes a
second,
problem.
I think we're going to get to that in a second.
Well,
Go
it's
ahead.
clearly that Ryan likes Alabama in that game. But what about you, Doug? The national championship is set. Clemson,
Yeah.
Alabama. Who you like?
I just talked about how happy and how proud I am to be from South Carolina and Clemson's in the national championship. Not this year. I just don't think it's going to happen this year, man. Alabama's got too much. Now, one thing I will say, Clemson runs an offense that traditionally Alabama over the last couple of years under Nick Saban has struggled with. They spread your teams out. You also have to nullify, it kind of nullifies the big linebackers and the big defensive linemen that Alabama has. So they got a shot. They're a 7-point underdog. I just don't see it this year. I think Dabo will bring a national championship to Clemson, but this year it's just too much Alabama.
At the end of the day, you mentioned Dabo just now. Coaching, hands down, goes to Saban for this game.
Yeah.
I will always take the coach that's playing for his fifth over a guy that is an up-and-coming great coach in this league trying to get his first.
Clemson's got time. Dabo's got time. I hope I'm wrong. Don't get it twisted.
They're a well-oiled machine down in Alabama, man, and I think that Dabo isn't going to get his time yet.
One thing you did mention, though, Deshaun Watson over Coker, definitely the quarterback advantage goes to Clemson.
Which gives you...
That could be the X factor.
It could be the X factor, man, but that defense got some hounds on it, Nadi.
Yeah, and Dabo had to suspend 3 players this week. And what are your thoughts on the 3 players suspended by Clemson for reportedly failing the drug test before a playoff game? And also Trevon Boykin getting in the bar fight, assaulting the car before he is. Ryan, refresh our memory. Did you ever play in a bowl game? And what were the guys thinking? What are these guys thinking?
I never played in a bowl game, but I was on a team. I was on a team that went to a bowl game. I was redshirted my freshman year.
Oh, okay.
That's the only opportunity we got.
But you traveled.
I traveled. I was at the Aloha Bowl, and I know how easy it is for guys to find themselves in a situation.
Right.
I mean, it's a paid vacation
for you. They said Boykin went in for curfew and snuck out.
Right.
And went out there and got drunk and wanted to fight police and whatnot.
We got to the Aloha Bowl, which is in Hawaii. It was beautiful. Our first meeting, we had a debriefing with security.
And you're listening to the 2 Live Stews?
And the first thing they said was, welcome to the island. Everybody's ready to welcome you with open arms, but we're going to advise you all to stay away from this area right here.
Right.
It's here, it's there. Here's what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Stay away from this area, and everything will be fine while you're here.
Right.
That night, after team meeting, the entire team met at the same spot where they told us not to go.
So the point is, these are college kids.
I get it.
But does it matter how big the bowl game is?
It should, Nadi. Yeah, you don't want to be playing for a playoff opportunity or a championship or a number 1 ranking or top 5 ranking and put yourself in this situation. But these kids want to have fun, man.
But you know what? It's next man up. And what Dabo and the Clemson Tigers showed is this next man up. Everybody performed, even without those guys. Hey, the party goes on.
If Watson would have been one of the guys that went in and came back out, do you think he would have been suspended, sir?
Hell no.
All right.
No, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, quickly, give us your 5 biggest sports stories in 2015 in ascending order.
So that means from...
That's from 5 to 1.
I knew what it means. I knew what it meant. Floyd and Manny fighting, and the fight being an epic fail is 5.
Ooh, wait a minute. You sure you ain't listened to my list?
The Seahawks losing the Super Bowl on a stupid play is 4.
Okay.
The Royals winning it all, first time in 30 years, is 3.
Okay, that's a difference.
Serena comes within 3 sets of the Grand Slam in Jordan Spieth.
I almost forgot about Serena.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan Spieth wins the Masters, the U.S. Open, the FedEx Cup, and nearly wins the British Open. I put those 2 together as 2. And number 1, man. What Golden State did to end the year and win the title, and what Golden State did to start the year this season by going 24-0.
I got 2 that I totally forgot about in your list. So the 5 biggest stories from 2015 for me.
I knew this would happen.
Number 5 on my list is Aaron Hernandez, convicted of murder. The tight end for the New England Patriots.
The killer.
My stories are...
That was this year?
I forgot about the killer.
The stories that I'm talking about are, in my mind, the biggest things, the things that I talked about most on my show, theDougStewartShow.com.
I forgot about the killer.
So number 5, Aaron Hernandez, convicted of murder. Number 4, Cardale Jones helps Ohio State win it all. Okay. A guy that came in off the bench, their 3rd-string quarterback.
He was supposed to do that.
And won a national championship.
He was
that
supposed
comes
to do
in at number 4 on my list.
That's good.
Number 3, the Seahawks. They blow the Super Bowl. Not that the New England Patriots won it, but the Seahawks blew the Super Bowl with that last-second pass.
Concur.
Number 2, the Patriots, Tom Brady and Deflategate. That was a big talker on my show.
It's a talker, but it's a non-story. Who cares?
Wait a minute. What do you mean it's not it's a non-story? A quarterback that we're talking about is one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks of all time, basically cheating.
Hey, man.
We don't know how long he's been cheating. I thought that was big. Yeah. And number 1, man.
That cat has one on for the Patriots, man.
Number 1, biggest story, sports story this past year, is Floyd Money Mayweather beating Manny Pacquiao after so many years of people saying he was scared and Pacquiao would beat him. He kicked Manny Pacquiao's keister.
He lucky to make my top 5 with that fight, man. But hey, I respected it. I respected it.
All right, we get back from
Good job, Naughty Dread.
Appreciate it, Naughty.
The cadre.
When we get back from the break, when we get back from the break, man, we'll talk about the Funky Four, the 4 biggest games this weekend in the world of football. All right, don't go away. I'm struggling. But
finding a way to get through it, though, man.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
If you're not stewing, what the heck are you doing? Doug Stewart, Ron Stewart, the 2 Live Stew, 640 WTST and iHeartRadio. Don't forget, this Monday, the Doug Stewart Show returns for 2016, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, online at thedougstewartshow.com.
Shouts out to Bruce Hagen, hagen-law.com. Give him a call for a free initial consultation if you've got some type of injury situation going on, an accident, 445-227-5553. Look, man, I got a lot of phone calls over the holidays about untimely deaths.
Yeah.
And typically every holiday season that happens. So if you are a family member that may be dealing with an untimely death during this holiday season, call Bruce and just see what's going on with him.
Hey, let's go ahead and talk about the Funky Four, the 4 biggest games in football this weekend.
Both of my games are NFL games, but I do want to mention something about the college game, and we talked about that a little bit during the break. Oregon versus TCU is the 15th ranked Oregon team that hadn't quite been the Oregon of the past when Chip Kelly was there.
Right.
They're going up against TCU, and everyone knows how important Boykin is when it comes to that team. Well, he went out, got in the fight. Doug mentioned it a little while ago, so he's not going to be playing. I'll be having my eyes on that bowl game to see if they can overcome not having their star.
Okay, before we get to our NFL games, because I'm going to do NFL too, let me throw out one game as well. Obviously, the Georgia Bulldogs taking on Penn State today.
Good call.
12 p.m. in a couple of minutes, they're going to kick off. The Tax Slayer Bowl. I hate all these bowl names.
It's football, man.
But anyway,
you won't hit it in about 2 weeks.
We'll see the Georgia Bulldogs without Coach Richt. So I'm kind of looking forward to that as well.
Now, NFL games, man, I'm starting with the Vikings and the Packers. Very important game, even though both teams have already clinched playoff spots and they can't earn a first-round bye. But they both desperately need to finish the regular season with the win. So the loser will ultimately play the Skins, and the winner will have Russell Wilson. If they get past Seattle, you go to Arizona and Carolina. That's why I'm watching this game, man, because the ramifications of the winner of this game puts themselves in a better situation in the postseason.
You're listening to the Two Live Stews. NFL, man, I'm looking forward to Tampa Bay and the Carolina Panthers. NFC South battle, our division right here with the Atlanta Falcons. Carolina is an 11-point favorite. I want to see how they respond after their first loss of the season last year. You've got two big names, Cam Newton and Jameis Winston. And also Carolina, they haven't secured home field advantage in the playoffs yet. It's between them and Arizona based on what happens this weekend. So they got to get this one if they want home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
One of those not for pay but play parlay cards that I play with sometimes. I have a couple of these games, man, and they have me really concerned. Because our team's really going to play.
Yeah.
Is Carolina really going to play?
Yeah.
What is Carolina going to do? They're 11-point favorite, but are they really going to play?
Their incentive is to lock up home field advantage.
Okay. All right.
It's between them or Arizona. If they win, they get it.
Falcons Saints, man, I have to watch the home team. Their last game, can they get that 9th win, which would be orca big? Even if they don't get it, they'll finish 8-8. That'll still be good for Quinn's first year with a team that's been decimated with injuries in the past. It's a little frightening or a little concerning that since week 8, man, Freeman hadn't had any games over 75 yards since week 8.
Yeah.
So what is this Falcons team really about? We'll learn a little bit about them in this Saints game.
Philadelphia taking on the New York Football Giants. Allegedly, word on the street is Tom Coughlin is going to step down as head coach next week. So we'll keep our eyes on that. Giants at home.
He had a good
by
run,
4
man.
points.
He had a good run, man.
He's old as Methuselah. Our cousin Gus is in here. He's a Giants fan.
He had a good run, man. He had a good run. I mean, what do you expect? It's all over.
Yeah.
He had a good run.
So the Giants favored by 4. You know what happened with Philadelphia this week. We talked about Chip Kelly not being the head coach. So I'm kind of looking forward to this, man, to see what goes down the NFC East
and
with that dump fire of a division.
Don't forget that the Two Last Stews tailgate goes down, which is another reason why I mentioned the Falcons and the Saints game on Sunday. Uncle Ray's bringing some barbecue through.
Okay,
man.
So there you have it, the Funky Four with the Two Live Stews on 640 WGST.
We're doing the big, man. Final tailgate of the year, $20,000.
$20,000. Talk a little bit more about $20,000.
It's the vodka that's infused with cognac. 20grandvodka.com is how you can find out more information about it. We were sponsored by them all season long at the tailgates, and it's some really good stuff, man.
Yeah,
some really good stuff.
Very good stuff.
The last tailgate tomorrow, man, it's supposed to be a nice day here in the A, so stop by, man. We'll be right outside of Gate C of the Georgia World Congress Center across the street on top of the hill.
So during the break, I got a text from the wife there at the first.
You don't discipline her when she texts you during work?
I got a text from the wife. Her and my daughter are at their first indoor track meet this year.
Mm-hmm.
So Kara ran the LOP. That's the life of the party, the leader of the pack. She ran the 60 meters. She took a whole second off her time.
Well, that's awesome.
The problem is that the people that came in first or second got 2 seconds faster. Not quite 2 seconds, but a whole second in the 60 is a lot.
Progress is good, man.
Yeah. So she took a second off her time from last year.
Right.
Last year was her first year running track.
And that's what I was going to say, man. She's early in this game, man.
Yeah.
I mean, really think about it, man. We excelled in high school sports, even when we got to middle school and junior varsity, but we were practicing and playing that sport from 5 to 6 years old.
Yeah.
So that's training, man, and she hadn't had that training yet.
Yeah. Speaking of
it's
which.
in her blood, man.
Speaking of which, the concussion movie, they had a clip when they were showing these Little League kids.
Right.
And this Dr. Omalu, is saying that parents should not let their kids play football until they turn 18.
Right.
To let them make the decision when they're 18 years old.
Right.
That's not going to work,
That's
though.
too late.
That's not going to work in this country.
That's too late.
That's not going to work.
But how many times have you heard me say my kids will not for sure play up until 14 to 15?
They showed these clips of these kids like doing what we used to call it in little league.
Oklahoma
drill.
Yeah.
And man, these kids butt like rams, and
like
both
you
of them
did.
Fell backwards.
Like you did.
Yeah, I had to have to be a couple times.
You and Junior Duncan, that was one of the scariest days of my life.
Yeah.
Out on the football field when you and Junior did Oklahoma together.
We ram head on.
The first time you got slick and jumped Junior.
Right.
Because Junior was like, I weighed you by 100 pounds.
Right.
But
Not
the second
100.
time, y'all collided like two rams, and both y'all instantly went back. Like, that's not good. That's not physically good for your brain.
Nah, it can't be good for your brain.
No, it's not.
At what point are they going to start, with these lawsuits for 7-year-olds? Because I want to be in that class action.
Yeah.
Can I get class action lawsuit money from 1978?
You didn't generate enough money to make it a class action lawsuit. There's no money there.
Huh.
Right.
So them charging $2 a
who
game.
you gonna sue, right?
Them charging
who you gonna sue?
I can't get a cut of that $2 a game.
You're going to bankrupt every Little League program in the country of the United States.
I need that money, man. I don't know if you know my situation.
Right. The league, man, is a $9 to $11 billion industry a year that knew about this, and ate information, man. Yeah, that's what the lawsuit comes from.
Yeah. I need to get some of that, man. No matter if it's a little take home, I need that. I need that in my life, man. What you got planned for today?
Football, man. Football.
Yeah.
And hang out with the kids, take them to the barbershop, and after that, man, sit down and watch football.
Yeah. I'm
All
going to do
day.
the same thing.
All day,
do the
man.
same thing. All right, man. Shouts out to the great Naughty Dread, a.k.a. the Cadre.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Shouts out to my man Gus, cousin Gus.
The butler, Alfred. Happy New Year.
Yeah, and my man Waterhead Walter.
Big Belly Walter.
Yeah.
Happy New Year,
So
man.
how many more weeks we got? Like a couple more weeks?
We've been blessed to push through the NFL season, man. So after the Super Bowl,
Okay.
they're gonna get us out of here then. But we got like 6 more weeks, man. Hey, man, love God and love each other, y'all.
Hey, be careful out there in them streets, man. Check out the Doug Stewart Show this Monday. TheDougStewartShow.com, 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
You need to go gurgle some Epsom salt.
I'm going to do that. Peace.
The way I'm living, forgiving what I'm giving up. X on the flex, giving now. I don't know about later. As for now, I know how to avoid the paranoid. Man, I've had it up to here. Yeah, I wear, got them going in fear. Rhetoric said and read just a bit ago. And not quick to go sign the hard runner. What's to keep from getting jerked? Changing some ways. The way back in the better days.